Alrighty. Hello, welcome back if you came back. I'm going to be playing a visual novel called Bad End. And in this game, supposedly, if you get a bad end in a game within the game, then you get what is called the bad end, and apparently you're supposed to die. So it kind of reminds me of the whole aspect of The Ring, where, if you watch the tape, you die. So it looked very interesting, and I definitely want to give it a shot. It had some pretty good reviews, and this is a mobile game. So, I guess we'll go ahead and get started. Ooh, what was that? What did it do? New. Let's try that again. Oh, there we go. Sure, we'll read it. Alright. Tap to decide. When touch and hold message skips. 2-finger touch, open the system menu. Swipe to hide message window. Swipe to open the message log. Okay. Pant. I'm being pursued by someone tonight on the street. By whom I haven't the slightest clue. I can only say one thing for sure. Whatever it isn't human. If I'm caught by whatever it is, what's going to happen to me? I continue to run despite the uneasiness in my gut. I'm going to turn this down just a little bit. It's a little loud. There we go. But no matter how hard I try, they keep right on my trail. Give me a break already. Whenever I glance back, it just seems they get closer and closer. What the hell? I don't understand any of this. Why are they after me? It doesn't matter. I have to lose them, no matter what. If I can just make it to my house, I should be safe. I kept running and eventually came to an intersection and took a quick dash down one of the side streets. Ooh. Suddenly, I was blinded by a pair of bright lights, accompanied by a sound of screeching brakes. Ah! Ooh. I immediately felt an intense shock throughout my entire body. Slowly, my consciousness slipped away. Okay. Ding dong, ding dong. The school bell rang. That's it for today's lesson. I have to head out now. Kayuhi, don't you have something important to do right now? The class president, Kaname Sasuke, spoke up. Yuji Ogato, our friend, turns in our direction as well. It's new. It's a new educational game, yeah. It's good for the brain and keeps it in tip-top shape. Yeah, that's right. So Yuji, how about joining me for a game or two? Hell yeah, I'll beat you for sure this time. Are you sure that's okay? I remember you saying something about bombing your last exam, right? The class president countered in a sharp tone. But I guess his efforts were in vain. These Japanese games are the hottest thing right now. So what? What are you implying? So that's the reason we play these games. It also means that we're getting valuable cultural experience by playing with people online around the world. You guys are so full of crap. Oh, come on, man. We're best friends, right? Yeah, that's right. My name is Kayuhi Inui. I'm walking home with my childhood friend, Yuji. I apologize if I'm butchering these names. Hanging out with him never got old, and I think Yuji also agrees. When we get to my house, I immediately fire up the game console. Okay, I choose Jupiter. Alright then, I choose Mars. Nowadays, we're obsessed with a new strategy war-type game. The game names the stages as planet names, and oddly enough, there are some with little girls' names. The hidden stage in this game is called the Black Hole, and that's not even a planet. That is weird. We went head-to-head a few rounds, but in the end, we were about evenly matched. We've always lived close since kindergarten, so we've been able to play together on the same console. Of course, we also just chill and hang out for no reason in general. We both have different tastes when it comes to genre games, or game genres. It's always been that way. On that note, want to play something else? There's a mobile game I want to check out. That's cool. I'll read some manga. Why don't you try out the game as well? Yuji boots up his phone and is already completely immersed in the game. Do you play any mobile games? Of course I do. I'll try out about just any game. I don't play too many games that you have to pay to play. I really only use my mobile phone for calls and an email. There are a lot of great free games as well, although a lot of the free games are made by indie developers that sometimes rival even professional game studios. Really? You need to play one of the more high-end mobile games. High-end? It's good stuff, you'll see. What kind of game is it? The game that Yuji has recommended sounds interesting, so I might, in fact, like it. Actually, I haven't even downloaded the game yet. Then how do you know the game is as good as you say it is? Did you base that on a game review you read on the internet? Hey, can I use your PC for a second? I nodded and booted up the PC for Yuji to use. What displayed on the screen was an anonymous BBS forum board. Why are we reading this? This forum isn't restricted to just a particular genre, but I was reading a post on how insanely popular it is worldwide. That popular, huh? What is this game called? The game is titled Bad End. Despite the name, people say it's too good to put down. Yuji says with a grin, "It's a simulation horror survival game. If a player gets a bad end in the game, then they supposedly die in real life." After an awkward silence, I chuckled and replied, "They're making it sound that way to hype the game up." "No man, I'm kidding. It says so on the game's official website." "Oh well, why aren't you playing it yet?" "That's weird. I can access the page, but the download link isn't working." Yuji turned the mobile phone's display so I could see it. There was a simple website that looked almost identical to the one displayed on the PC screen. There was a link on the page named Bad End Download. See? I keep trying, but the download won't start. Do you think it's a dead link? Well, according to the BBS, the game has been downloaded several times, so it should be working. A quick glimpse at some of the post headings confirmed this. Very strange indeed. I know this is crazy, but I just considered something. What? Do you think what these people are saying is true? I mean, the so-called myth about this game? Even though the webpage makes this claim, how can we be sure if it's not just a load of crap? Yuji places his mobile phone on the desk beside him and turns his attention to the website on the PC's monitor. There's 20 threads. It's quite a lot. We start to read through the posts. No, I can't download the game at all. Such a game can't exist. You need to face reality. Seriously. Anyway, let's play baseball. So far, about 80% of the posts were like this. I can't get the game to start. A game like this can't exist. I finally got the game to download, and I'm already impressed from the get-go. My first choice in the game was creepy. There's no way someone ended up dying. Blah. Yeah, I got the download to work. I'm going to stay up all night playing. The remaining 20% of the BBS posts are for the most part positive praise about the game. So even though there's a ridiculous rumor about dying when you get a bad end, it seems people just blow it off as a joke. Most of these people are probably trolls. Most? So you think these posts are trolls, huh? Well, there are some interesting posts for sure. Check this out. Ah, no, I'm a dying. Die, die, die. The evil one told me I have less than a minute to live, so I guess this is a goodbye. Please, whatever you do, don't download this game unless you want to end up like me. See there? No way, I don't believe it. Yeah, I agree. Yuji laughs pleasantly and agrees that it's probably just a hoax. Bad End was released a few months ago, but this BBS board didn't show up until recently. Every day since then, bogus posts like this keep popping up. Since the download link is broken most of the time, it's not surprising most people just forget about it and move on. Well, this game isn't completely forgotten. It's a total mystery for sure. It doesn't make sense. This is the internet after all. These things are bound to happen sometime or another. There's also something else I remember reading about this game. Apparently, only a few select people are able to download it. A few select people? Although I try to download the link every day, I can't get the dang game to download. Let me try. I access the download page with my own mobile phone. I navigate to the same download link and tap on it. No good. It won't work for me either. Check this out. There's a few posts here, actual gameplay recorded from the game itself. I see. So they have uploaded what they've played so far? It's actually impressive that players actually have uploaded their own game experiences for all the players to see. Yuji finds and clicks on a link in one of the posts that takes him to one of the players' Twitter page. According to the page, the last update was 5 days ago. I wonder why they stopped tweeting. Good point. He was tweeting frequently up to just about 5 days ago. Do you think he might have died? Oh, come on, man. Seriously? We give the page another quick once-over. It seems the first couple of tweets are mostly praise about how great the gameplay is. However, from there the posts get stranger and more ominous. The dark being came right out of the screen. That was the final tweet from this player. Nothing more had been posted after that. He probably posted this to further hype the game up, just like I said earlier. That's all there is to it. But still, I would like to give this game a try. Well, I hope you're able to get it running sometime soon. A little while later, we decided to call it quits for the day. Seeing Yuji off, I came back and sprawled out on the bed. So, if a player gets a bad end, then they die in real life? There can't be such a game. Can there? I've never heard of this type of thing happening in a game. Yes, I'm just making a big deal of nothing. There's no way a game like that could exist. Later on that night, my mobile phone started ringing and displayed Yuji's number. Hey, you're not gonna believe this! What's up? I finally got Bad End to download. No kidding! For a moment, I thought he was making it up. But Yuji seldom tells a lie, especially not about video games. Even if it was a lie, I said, "Show me tomorrow," Yuji would outright admit he was telling a fib. What's it like? Have you played it yet? It just finished downloading, and I was just about to install it. I'm curious to hear how it is after you play it. Alright, man, I'll see you tomorrow and give you the details. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. The conversation ended with friendly laughter. Yuji seemed really stoked to finally get the game downloaded. Now I'm curious. I wouldn't mind going over to his place to check it out. Maybe I'll ask him tomorrow. However, little did I know that this would be the last conversation I would have with Yuji. Oh no. I have some regrettable news. The morning homeroom teacher started speaking. Yuji Ogato died last evening. What? The sound of confused voices could be heard throughout the room. Yuji? Died? Although it was futile, I sent him a text anyways. There was no reply. Maybe he caught a nasty cold or bug and was just at home in bed. That didn't seem to be the case. Why? Why did he have to die? I don't understand all the details myself, but he apparently died in his own bedroom. Let's all settle down for now. I will keep you posted if I hear anything new. The teacher's words stunned everyone, and the room was dead silent. Yuji died. Yuji, my best friend, died. Soon, Yuji's funeral was carried out. Yuji was an only child. I can only imagine the heartbreak Yuji's parents felt. All of the other classmates attended the funeral as well. Boys wore expression of disbelief, and the majority of the girls were sobbing. Yuji was admired and liked by everyone he came to know. Now I was looking at a picture of him, taken not too long ago. Why? Why did you have to die? My body is shaking, the tears flowing freely down my cheeks. Some time passed, but my world was still shattered. Oh, I will say that definitely hits close to home, because it definitely hits close to home, because I lost a best friend when I was in high school. So yeah, that really hits hard. So I definitely understand that feeling. Kuihei, I'm sorry. If there's anything I can do. He was my best friend for 10 years. And just like that, he's gone. I know you're hurting, but give it some time. Time heals all wounds. I'm sorry, but I'm going to flat out say I find that phrase to be the worst phrase in the world, because it doesn't heal your wounds. Time only allows you to learn how to live with it. Just my personal thoughts, anyway. I'm trying, okay? The autopsy showed that his cause of death was acute cardiac insufficiency. Yuji, to my knowledge, didn't have a life-threatening disease. So what the hell happened to him? Wait, could it be? If a player gets a bad end, then they will die. The ominous words kept repeating in my head. Bad end. I totally laughed it off as one big load of crap. Is that really even possible? After school, I visited Yuji's house. Thank you for your prayers for Yuji. Not at all. We can't use the comics and games that Yuji kept, so I want you to have them. I'm sure he would have wanted the same. Thank you. Oh, by the way, I have another reason for coming here today. Do you happen to have Yuji's mobile phone he was using? Yes, it's on his desk. There's a record of an email that I want to keep. Okay, I wanted to look at it for some of the contents. I go over and take the mobile phone from the desk. Yuji said that he had successfully downloaded and installed Bad End. It's surely still installed on his phone. Oh. When the list of available apps appears, Bad End is listed as being installed. Yuji had installed it after all. Is something wrong? No, it's nothing. By the way, did Yuji really have a heart condition like the doctor said? The doctor said as much, but what? Upon replying, fresh tears started streaming down her face. Yuji's face had turned so pale, and he looked so scared. He had scratched and clawed at his own throat. He must have been in so much pain, on top of not being able to say anything. May I please borrow his phone for a little while? Oh, that's awful. I was allowed permission to borrow Yuji's phone. I couldn't conduct an investigation when his mom was in such an emotional state. Yuji's mobile phone is the same make and model as my own. It's actually a very common phone and nothing too special. However, he had downloaded Bad End. Although I tried on my own mobile phone, I couldn't get it to install. Then why was Yuji able to download it? At any rate, I'm going to try to play it. I hesitated. This game could potentially be the only game in existence to completely defy any logic or human comprehension. But I have to know the truth behind this game. With determination, I started the app called Bad End. However, an error message showed, error, execution failed, and the application force closes. Crap. Then, no matter how often I tapped the screen, it wouldn't respond. For several minutes, no matter what I did, it was no use. Pressing the end button had no effect either. My hand holding Yuji's phone was trembling, my sense of fear creeping in. Yuji, was this game really what killed you? Ooh, I get a choice. No, there's no way. What the hell? Why isn't the game booting up? The author of Bad End must have had some type of patch for the game and prevented this older version from booting up. For example, the initial download of this version was put up and then taken down not too long after. Then Yuji just happened to download it within that small time frame from the first release to an updated one. Why can't I get the game to run? I hadn't a clue. It might just have been designed to be able to open once. I know close to nothing about programming, so I'm not sure if it was designed that way intentionally or not. How did Yuji really die? An underlying disease or condition? That's the only rational explanation. If one gets a bad end in a video game, then the player dies for real? There's no way in hell. Just merely a myth spread to hype the game up. Not long after, I completely forgot about Bad End and moved on. Oh, I got an ending! Ending number 1, Urban Myth. What? Oh. 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 14 endings! Holy moly! Okay, let's go with load. I was gonna say, please tell me I don't have to... Okay, right here. Yes. Okay. That's cool. I like how it does that. I can go back. Okay, so instead of saying there's no way, I'm going to have to say it has to be. It has to be. Yuji fell victim to this game just like the other players that supposedly got killed as well. Killed by the infamous Bad End. Dang it. A horror video game that actually kills a player in the real world? Based on what's happened so far, this seems to be the case despite how unbelievable it sounds. Come on, this is so ridiculous. Yuji had died, that is for certain. But is there any evidence or clue on the phone as to what Yuji had seen or did while playing? I tried to boot up Bad End again. It didn't ask for any prompts or display any personal information from the player. For example, if the player is in a different time zone or location, depending on the game, it won't run. Unexpectedly, something happened that I didn't anticipate. What's happening? The game was displayed on the splash screen just a little while ago, but Now the bad end icon had disappeared completely. Who made this game and for what reason? It just didn't make any sense. There is this new game out there called Bad End that potentially killed my best friend. This is all too much. I have to know the truth. I have to dig up some more information regarding this whole thing. After finishing my dinner, I sat down in front of my PC monitor. Oops! Oh well. Which one did I look at? Oh, it was the anonymous BBS. I accessed the anonymous BBS board. I started typing in the new thread box. My best friend who was playing this game died last night. I'd like to investigate the mystery of this bad end. I'm not making any of this up. If anyone has any information, please respond. I immediately got some replies. It's a troll. How did he die? Tell us. Show a pic or something. If you have some proof, I might believe you. Crap. Despite the quick reply, nothing was helpful at all. I was getting irritated. Just don't delve into the matter any further. It's not worth the risk, unless you've got a death wish. Yeah, I think you should just forget about the game and move on. No good can come of it, like dying. Your friend probably would want you to steer clear and not repeat his mistake. There was also a tidbit here that was unsettling. My heartbeat started to race. But I bear it, and I take a deep breath. I need to find out exactly what happened to Yuji and the cause of his death. Although it's possible one of these people have encountered Yuji, they seem to not have witnessed any of these events regardless. Despite that, was it really a troll getting a kick out of this whole ordeal? Or did they really fall victim to this sick game? Now I'm more excited than ever to start playing the game. It gives me goosebumps just thinking about it. Frustrated at the lack of useful responses, I closed the BBS. Okay. It seems that you can't run the game unless you're a specific person chosen to play it. Are there players able to download the game special in some way? Or was it purely at random? Which one did I look at? Ooh, I have to investigate. Actually investigate. Let's view player profiles. I decided to check the other players' profiles. So far, I only looked at one player's Twitter page. If I do a more advanced search, then maybe I can find out more. I tried a direct keyword search for the game. Here we go, a blog. This looks promising. A bad end play diary came up. The last update was a month ago, then abruptly stopped. So what happened? The information posted is troubling. I decided to start reading it from the beginning. My wish finally came true. I was able to download Bad End. I'm so excited. Sadly, I can't show any proof due to my lack of digital camera. Therefore, any comments are welcome. I'm slowly playing through the game in my spare time. I'm not going into detail because I don't want to spoil the plot, but the story is rather cliché. Just as I was thinking of the lack of imagination, my first plot choice appeared. My palms were sweating. Not long afterwards, I met my first bad end. Laugh out loud. But of course, nothing happened to me as per the rumor that was circulating the net. Naturally, there's a lot more of the game to explore. I'm still here, although I thought at one particular time I was actually going to die. Then I realized it was all a dream. If the main character makes the correct choice, then the story continues. That's to be expected, right? Then bad luck reared its ugly head, and I got my second bad end. Obviously, I'm not very good at these types of games. Alright, I can't read that one. That's just a bunch of letters. The updates end there. The blog was only maintained for 4 days. It may all be a practical joke. There's no evidence to back up his claims. He might possibly already be dead. The last incomprehensible string of text was likely due to panic or distraction. At the start of the blog, the information was pertaining to the player's initial impressions of the game. Going to be vague. The storyline is cliché. From the first post here described, it conflicts with the anonymous BBS board said. Most of the other play diaries I skimmed through aren't very helpful. Not surprisingly, they aren't being updated regularly either. Which one did I look at? Let's look at other game information site. I decided to search for the game on a popular game information site. Bad End is all the rage right now, so there must be more information out there. Oh, here we go. I accessed a popular gaming information board and began reading. Bad End is the new mobile game which suddenly appeared out on the network out of nowhere several months ago. Despite having a link to download page, it's usually down. It seems to have a very sophisticated choice selection system. Supposedly, if the player picks the wrong choice, then they will die for real. We find it hard to believe that a video game can actually have the potential to kill someone. Somehow, the administrator of the site hasn't a clue. The rumor surrounding the game is basically summarized. It's just like what Yuji had told me before he played the game. One ominous sentence caught my eye towards the end. It is said that there is a great reward awaiting the player that can clear the entire game without dying. A great reward, huh? I wonder what it is. Despite the danger of actually dying, people actually think it's worth the risk. Is this the reason people are playing? Well, I'm not interested in the prize for beating it. I'm only interested in getting to the bottom of what killed Yuji. I turned off the power to the PC and lounged on my bed. Nothing I came across was very helpful. I'm starting to feel even more depressed. If I can't download the game, I can't play it. I want to play the game. If there's a God out there, please allow me to play the game. Yuji, you probably didn't really think that you'd actually die in real life. It's only natural to think that way. No one just up and dies when you lose a life in a dang video game. So glad that's not true, considering I die so many times in video games. But people didn't take it seriously and played the game like they would any other and paid the ultimate price. Even if I don't know who's responsible for this, just sitting here won't help me find out. My mind was made up. I decided that I'll beat Bad End and find out the mystery behind Yuji's death. So deciding on that, I can't wait to get started on the game as soon as possible. I tried downloading the game multiple times while on break between classes, but the download refused to start. Dang it, why can't I download it? Kyuhei. Hey, Kaname, what's up? What's with the long face? He saw right through me. Regardless, I'll do just about anything to get this dang game up and running. If something is troubling you, I'm here to listen. I'm too desperate to look into Bad End. It's all I can think about. Have you heard of a mobile game called Bad End? I've heard of it. It's where if the player dies in game, then they die for real. Despite all the current information on the net, it seems people are elaborating on their own personal experiences within the game. Yuji had played the game before he died. Eh? The game was still installed on his phone. When I attempted to boot the game, the app just disappeared from the main screen. It seems that someone was trying to sabotage any traces of the game's activity. I can't believe such a game actually exists. So Yuji died from playing the game? Not a dang disease? No way. Come on, Kyuhei. Kaname was clearly annoyed by my explanation. Our fellow classmates turned to look in our direction at the commotion. Don't buy into such a stupid rumor. He died of an underlying medical condition. If it's such a stupid rumor, then tell me why it's not true. Just face the facts. I saw the game disappear from the phone with my own eyes. Try explaining that. This is the God's honest truth. I'm not making this stuff up. That's why I'm going to find out what happened to Yuji by any means possible. You know it's hard to lose your best friend of 10 years, but you have to move on. But don't misunderstand. You can't let yourself fall into despair over someone who has passed on. There's nothing more you can do. The expression in my eyes were one of disbelief and helplessness. I didn't know what to do or say to him. Thanks again for trying to cheer me up. I'll see you later. I spent the rest of the day at school avoiding everyone. I wasn't in the mood to socialize. Is it really a hopeless situation? Is it just as stupid of me to want to find out the reason behind the death of my best friend? No, I refuse to believe that. But after talking to Kaname, it somewhat dashed my hopes of pursuing the truth. That one player's startling reply on the anonymous BBS resurfaced in my mind. He basically said to stop trying unless I had a death wish. I eventually calmed down after remembering those words. Yes, I'm afraid of dying, but finding out about Yuji's death was worth the risk. Should I ignore my gut feelings? Though I screamed in frustration to know that I could potentially die, I couldn't help but think, if anything should happen to me, what would my parents do if I died? After arriving home, I spent it alone. It's been 1 week since Yuji's death. The smoke was slowly clearing, and reality that he was gone slowly sank in. Will I just have to give up on finding out more about Bad End? First of all, there's not much I can do if I can't play the game. No matter how you look at it, the game has to choose me. No matter what I do, if the game doesn't somehow choose me, then I can't do a thing. I accessed the download page for the last attempt at downloading the game. If this doesn't work, then I might as well give up. As I pushed the link, holy! The download link worked. A blue progress bar appeared, and before long, it reaches 100%. Do you want to run the game? After the message, a button for yes and no were displayed in a box prompt. Are you serious? I was finally able to download it. This is it. I can finally look into the matter and put an end to all the rumors and crap of the game. I steeled myself to find out the truth behind Yuji, and by any means. The flame of determination again burned bright where it once had burned out. Well, crap. Now for the moment of truth. Should I just let it go and return to my life, or walk away and not take the risk? No way. I have to do this. Even these doubts lingered in my mind despite getting the download to miraculously work. Dang it. It's like the game is taunting me. It's scary and infuriating at the same time. What shall I do? Do I play Bad End or not play? We're gonna play it, duh. Got this far, we're gonna play it. There's no way I won't play. I gritted my teeth and stared blankly at the display. If this isn't fate, then I don't know what is. This game may very well be a death trap, because it's already claimed one victim. But it won't be defeated so easily. And I'll do anything I can to clear it. I will do it. As I started the world of Bad End. Ding dong! The bells chimed, signaling the end of the school day. It's finally over. And now it's time for yours truly to make a swift exit. After hearing the energy in my words, my close friend Kana Mihashi retorts with a laugh. Oh, I'm multiple people. Ah, the bell. What a sweet sound. Oh, Kuoku. Do you have another hot date lined up today? Another hot date? It's not like that. I don't want just any man. I want a foreign guy. American. An American, huh? Oh my. Kana sighs. I don't have an actual steady boyfriend, but there's one guy at school that I do hang out with often. Sometimes I have to treat me to some fine dining at times. Huh. Isn't that what everyone does? I'm sure I'm not the only one. Well, I gotta go. Got a hot date to get ready for. Oh yeah, have fun and break a leg. Kana left the classroom earlier than usual. Kana's boyfriend is very handsome. They seem to make a great couple. By the way, who should I invite today? My name is Kuoku Iwasaki. I'm pretty much your average carefree teenage girl. When the bell rings, I usually hang out with Kana and her boyfriend until the evening. What about studying? Yeah, only when it's appropriate. 1 hour later, my stomach was stuffed. Ah, that was delicious. Let's go to that patisserie again. Well, do you intend to be my lover or your lover? I'm being serious. I really like you. I don't want you around another guy. Sorry, but I'm not ready to have any serious relationships. Whatever, bye. I came home and lay down on my bed. Do you not intend to be my lover? I've heard that line a dozen times or so, but I turn them down every time. I have to admit, I am a little jealous to see my friends with handsome guys of their own. It seems that I have a knack for running guys off. At least that's what Kana says. I don't think that's true at all. There's nobody else that's as easygoing as me. After supper, I decided to take extra time with my makeup. Of course, applying makeup at school is against the rules, but it's in the girls' better interest if it's for being with a hot guy on holiday break. I thought that to myself as I began to start on my makeup. Ugh, it's all used up. I completely forgot that I used the last of my foundation yesterday. I should have grabbed some more during my way back home today. Okay, I'll go out and get some. I think a nightly stroll is good for me every now and then. I arrived at the convenience store closest to my house. Fortunately, you can buy some decent cosmetic products at convenience stores nowadays. Oh, Kuoku. Kana was standing in front of the magazine section in the corner. She was looking through a fashion magazine. What a coincidence. I came to buy cosmetics. Perfect, the art of applying makeup. You sure know how to wrap a man around your finger for sure. That's so not true. After the small chatter, I finished my shopping. I decided I might as well accompany Kana on our walk back home. It was a relatively straight walk. Have you ever stayed out this late at night before, Kuoko? Several times. Who hasn't? I've stayed out for karaoke and movies, for example. I'm told my singing is very arousing. Yeah, okay, whatever. So who do you go out with when you stayed out late? If you ever run into any of my studs, don't even try to make a move on them. I'd never do such a thing, but now you mention it, I did hang out with him before you two met. For real? That's news to me. I thought I was his first sweetheart. Well, we were never truly lovers. It's all news to Kana. It seems somewhat jealous. Then, right about that time... What? I couldn't believe my eyes. Suddenly a black shape appeared out of nowhere. What? Kuoku, what's that? I have no idea. Fog? Mist? I can't make it out at all. Maybe some sort of demon creature? How dare. What? How dare you? How dare you? The strange thing said this in a crazed way over and over. Hurry, run away, run! Oh, Kwoku! I turned and ran at full speed. Kana was not far behind me. It's gaining ground fast. It's surely faster than us. What the hell is that? I don't believe what we've witnessed, but I saw it with my own two eyes, so there's no way I'm just imagining things. It's a creature not of this world. Where are we going? Doesn't matter, anywhere is good as long as we get away from that thing. My feet were getting tired, and soon was out of breath from running. Then, an intersection. Which way should I go? The right or left, or keep going straight? Which way do I run? Right? Oh my gosh, that was actually, oh! I thought I was playing a different character. That was actually the game. Oh. A choice. As for an adventure game, a choice is important. Typically, when a player chooses the wrong choice, it often results in a game over of some sort. Bad End works this way too, according to what I've read. Aren't there any hints? It seems there might be purely left to luck. If I choose wrong, I surely will die here. This is probably the only chance I'm going to have, so there might not be no going back. What shall I do? Stop playing or continue? Keep going, continue. I made up my mind to continue playing. I guess that was their little way of letting you know that you're actually playing the game now. Of course, there's still the fear of dying. I don't intend to quit now. After all, it's only natural to want to find out what killed my best friend. Maybe there's some sort of invisible force that's beckoning me in to play this deadly game. But I decided to chance it and push forward. Which choice should I make? I'm still going with the right. I took a right. Kana, hurry up! I shouted without looking back. Isn't there a main street? Then... We made it to the main plaza. When I turned around, the weird shadow was nowhere in sight. That's a relief. Perhaps the shadow can't come where there are many people gathered in one place. What was that thing? Don't ask me. Anyway, let's just get out of here. I'm heading home. Call me later, okay? Right, I'll see you later. I chose right! I went home quickly when I parted from Kana. I thought the shadow would most likely catch up to me. Fortunately, that didn't happen. Oh, Chocolate Bear, thank you so much for that follow. I appreciate it. I stashed the cosmetics away that I bought at the convenience store and lie down in the bed. I'm in no mood to do my makeup right now. My body is still shaking from the whole ordeal. Who or what was that? Why were they chasing after us? I don't understand it at all. What would be the reason why someone would want to attack a common everyday girl like me? Oh, wait. I'm gorgeous after all, and men stop and stare at me as I pass by. Conceited. Could it be the soul or spirit of a pervert out to get me? Pfft, no way. There's nothing I can do on dwelling on it. It can't be helped. I decided to go to bed early. Sleep will take my mind off everything. That happened. But I can't help but wonder, what was it? What if I'm attacked by that thing again tomorrow? Well, it seems like that was the correct choice. I felt relieved and decided to save and quit for the day. The game's story is your typical cliche horror plot. Kuoko is Iwasaki, the main character, is in a strange area at night. She's a clueless girl, but apparently gets a bad end if you pick wrong choices. So what really lies ahead? Based on what I've played, it's hard to predict what happens next. And yet, Kuoku may have some character traits I find unappealing. It seems as though she messes around with guys in an equal measure, but what about her secret desires? That's not really important. I got past the first choice and still able to proceed. But how long will I have to keep making these choices? Just thinking about it makes me depressed. While I'm at school, I tried keeping busy to take my mind off of Bad End. At least, I thought I could. You know how they said Ogata died, right? It seems that it was a result of a game called Bad End. I overheard the conversation. Outside the classroom, people were talking about it as well. That's the result of opening your mouth on this whole mess. Now there's another rumor spreading across the campus. Sorry? Once one person hears it and passes it along, it won't stop. He's right. It's probably already spread like wildfire throughout the entire school. That's absurd. There's no way you can die from a video game. The rumor is probably known by everyone now. Well, it can't be helped. It's our duty to dispel any said rumor. I understand. Bad End is still installed on my mobile phone. How will the class president react if I mention it? I'm not gonna tell him. No, it would be pointless to mention it to Kaname. He'll say, "Oh, that's just a load of crap," or something along those lines. If this rumor gets out to Yuji's parents, it won't bode well with them. That's Kaname for you. He always has other people's best interests in mind. The rumor about making a fatal mistake and Bad End resulting in your death is the truth. After school, I come straight home and took out my mobile phone. The title screen of Bad End appears upon flipping the phone open. A small road icon is displayed awaiting to continue the game. Although I haven't even played yet, I feel exhausted. My heartbeat starts to climb with anticipation. Just take a deep breath. Calm down, Kuihei. I take a deep breath and it helps ease the tension. I have to remain calm. I tapped the icon and selected my last save state to continue where I had left off. I woke up still depressed. Needless to say, I'm still worried about what that was all about yesterday. It definitely wasn't just a dream. Kana and I were definitely attacked by something. What would have happened to us if we were caught? I didn't want to even imagine it. We might have been killed. Whew. Although I didn't feel like going to school, I'd end up being more depressed sitting around the house doing nothing. So I decided the best thing to do is to tough it out and try to keep my chin up. Probably won't be attacked in broad daylight, much less at school with all the people present. I arrived at the school gate and joined up with Kana. Good morning. Good morning. Do you remember what happened last night? You mean that cursed shadow? I don't know what else to call it. So you do remember it. What do you think it was? I haven't the slightest idea, but it scared the hell out of me. Too weird. Okay, enough with that subject. Let's go on and head to class. Yes, you're right. Let's go. The rest of the school day went as expected, without incident. The strange shadow didn't show itself at school, just as I had predicted. Its weakness is probably being out in the light. We're probably safe during the daytime. Hey! What? Kana speaks in a low voice, almost like she doesn't want others to hear. It's been bugging me all day about the you-know-what we saw yesterday. We have to do something. I can't go through that again. I agree. But what should we do? Well, I was thinking maybe an exorcism? What? An exorcism? Are you serious? I imagine one of those stupid psychic shows that come on TV. Are they expensive? I don't have a lot of money right now. Actually, I think we can manage. There's a priest at Tensuo Shrine that seems very generous. The Tensuo Shrine right next to our neighborhood? Yeah, it seems that he specializes in this sort of thing. Really? He'll probably cut us a deal. Who knows? Maybe give us a student discount? It's worth a try at least. Let's do it. Okay. Tensuo is the largest shrine in the area, with an extensive history. I visit only once a year. I didn't know they performed exorcisms. Hold a sec. Let me go talk to the priest. Okay, I'll be right here. Kana seems to know this place fairly well, so I trust she knows what she's doing. Not long after, the Shinto priest comes out dressed in an elegant hakama. I heard that you were troubled. If you want, I will do everything in my power to help you. Yes, thank you so much for helping us. Then Kana reappeared with a beaming smile. He's not going to charge us. Isn't that nice? Haha, I made an exception for you two. No charge. Shinto priest gives a hearty laugh. Well, there's not much else we could do about our predicament. We'll just have to put our faith into the priest. When do you want to go? Hope we can do it as soon as possible. Let's do it tonight. I'll go with you, of course. Sounds good. So tonight it is. I'll be ready. I itched. We left Tensu's shrine and dropped in at a local family restaurant. The uniforms that the waitresses wear is so neat. I want one too. Yeah, you're right. This place is pretty popular with the locals. They're famous for the stylish uniform that they wear while working. This restaurant is one of a kind. There aren't any franchise chains or locations anywhere else in Japan, so it makes it a very popular tourist attraction. What can I get for you? I'll have the special ultra treat, please. I'll take the Ishtar Original Cheesecake. Sounds good. I can read your face. You're wondering what's so special about this treat, huh? Can I try a bite? Anyway, I never experienced anything like that. The exorcism, I mean. Do you think it worked? I can't help but worry. Well, it's better than doing nothing, right? Don't worry so much about it. You're right. Before long, the waitress brings us our orders. Wow, this is really good. Definitely worthy of ultra treat. Yeah, the cheesecake tastes great too. It would probably have tasted better if I wasn't weighed down with worry. Finally, it was nighttime. When we get to the shrine, the priest is already waiting. Please, come this way, step into this area. The area the priest pointed to seemed to be a barrier of some sort. I've only seen them in manga and TV shows. Is this really safe? So I'm guessing the evil spirits can't break through here? At least that's the idea I got from the priest. The Shinto priest brandishes what looks like a staff. Can such a thing really help exorcise spirits? Well, I guess we'll find out soon. I feel an evil presence. A concerned expression appeared on the priest's face. My heart starts to race. Then I felt a presence that wasn't there a few seconds ago. Ah! Out of nowhere, the worst happened. It appeared. That's it. That's the thing that attacked us yesterday. What's going to happen? Ah! The shadow... Oh, sorry, that wasn't a scream. That was the shadow. Should have been more of a groan. The shadow's eyes shift in my direction. Why is it looking at me for? It doesn't look happy. Don't leave the barrier. Okay, gotcha. Back to back, Kana and I move towards the center of the erected barrier. You're still out there. Will you be okay? Yes, I have used the staff to ward it off. The priest starts to chant an incantation while motioning the wand in the air with a practiced pattern. Evil spirit, be gone! Gah! The shadow seems to have shrunk a little. Did the priest's mantra work? However, the next moment... Gah! Oof! The shadow enveloped the priest from head to toe. His whole body turns pitch black. Ah! The priest falls in a fit of agony. Oh no! No way! Is he dead? The shadow turns in our direction and says, It's your turn to die now. What should we do? What should we do? Don't ask me. Is this barrier going to keep that thing back? The priest's staff rolls just within our reach. Maybe I can use this. Or should I make a dash for it? What should I do? Ooh. Let's see. What should we do? Stay in the barrier, pick up the staff, or run away? I'm not running away because there's no way we're going to run away from him all the way. I think we're going to stay in the barrier. Three choices again. If there were only two choices, it would be easier. Still, the probability of choosing the correct choice is 1/3. There's also a chance that my next choice will kill me. However, I won't know until I try. I'll rely on my instincts, so I'll try my best to choose the best one. Gritting my teeth, I studied the game's screen, 3 choices, and made up my mind. What should I do? See, it's like it gives you a second option, or like a second chance. And my instinct is to stay in the barrier, so it's almost like it's telling me, yeah, you made the right choice because I need to trust my instinct. So I'm wondering if it gives you little clues of whether or not it's the right choice. So I'm going with it is, and it's saying that he needs to trust his instinct on the choices. And my first instinct is to listen and stay in the barrier. The priest said not to leave the barrier under any circumstances. So we stay here and hope the shadow gives up and leaves. They'll be all right if we stay inside. I wonder. Then the shadow rushed. Oh gosh. Then the shadow rushed towards us. Bam! A spark emitted from the barrier, and the shadow was pushed back. Gah! Look, it can't get through. Hey, look there. Kana pointed to near where our feet were, specifically where the barrier met the ground. Ah! Suddenly the barrier's wall shows signs of cracks and static. What does that mean? If this thing fails, will the spirit be able to break through? The shadow rushed towards us once again. A static-like sound is heard as the rest of the barrier distorts and gives out. Oh no, I picked the wrong choice! No, it broke. What are we gonna do? Don't ask me. Once again, for the 3rd time, the shadow charged at us. The barrier vanished completely. The shadow immediately enveloped me in a dark shroud of black mist. Ah! My desperate cries were in vain. Kana, I hope you make it out of this. Oh, I got a bad end. Bad end. This is terrible. I arrived at a bad end. Even against another 1/3 probability, I failed regardless. The fear that was waiting in my gut immediately rose to the surface. I did a double take around my room. Something could attack me at any moment. I looked around for a weapon to use. I'll be darned if I don't go down without a fight. Will anything attack me? The room is completely silent except for the sounds of my heavy breathing. I was frozen to the spot for roughly 5 minutes, but nothing happens. Nothing happened. That's a good sign, I suppose. Anyway, let's go back and choose again. Maybe I'll get it right this time, so I can proceed in the game. Okay, so what should I do? Pick up the staff? I decided to face it and pick up the staff. It seemed to work for the priest. Maybe if I can just keep it up, then maybe I can beat it. Quoquo, do you think that will work? Wah! I flung the staff with all my might. But, oh! The staff passed right through the shadow's body. The shadow appeared, unfazed. Oh, it's not working! Ah! I should have considered it. I was stupid not to anticipate something like this. The next moment, the shadow completely engulfed my body. I can't breathe. The shadow's mysterious power overtook my whole body. After a short time, my heart stopped beating. Another bad end. Okay, so run away. Crap. I stared into disbelief at the text bad end displayed on the small screen. This makes the second bad end. I think back to the player's blog I read who played bad end. The player was he's probably alive and well even if he got a bad end. But what if a second bad end is what triggers a... Ooh. Ah! I turned around and regretted doing so. It seemed it was true. Making one mistake is fine. However, making a second mistake is rewarded with sure death. What? Were you the one that killed Yuji? I struck out at the creature with all the strength I could muster, but my fist immediately disappeared through the black mist that was the creature's body. Damn it! Damn it! How dare you? What? He's telling me, how dare you? How dare you? For murdering me. What? Huh? Murdered? Wait. Are you by any chance... Iwa... I couldn't finish my sentence. Without warning, the shadow disappeared through my mouth. Ugh! My blood throughout my body felt like it was boiling. I collapsed to the ground in intense pain. Sorry, Yuji. I'm going to die. Ending number 6. Bad End 2. I got another ending. Oh, alrighty. So this is still very, very interesting. I like this. I really do. But unfortunately, I have to take a break. I have a phone call that I have to take care of. So I will be back in a little bit. If I get a chance, I will be back. I promise. But thank you so much. I hope everyone enjoys this. I've only gotten 2 of the endings, and there's 14 of them, so I got 12 more endings to find. But I hope everyone has a great day. And until next time, bye.